Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. This is a Raspberry Pi 5. This is specifically the 8GB model, which should be plenty for the things we're going to be doing today. That sounds very suspicious. The things we're going to be doing today. We're going to be trying to 3D model on this thing and print out whatever we model. And you might be asking yourself, what's up with the weird setup with the cardboard packing tape and SATA SSD on here? Well, this is because I was using this as a Minecraft server, specifically running the Feed the Beast mod pack Revelation. I specifically used this USB thing instead of using the SD card on it because this is way faster than the SD card. And running a server off the SD card, which I did do, did not fare well. It was pretty laggy, and yeah, it wasn't great. But we are not going to be using the SSD. We are going to be using the SD card because I'm pretty sure what we're going to be doing does not require that much speed. I have a whole setup here. I'm going to be capturing video on my computer as well as maybe filming the screen. Southern California winters, man, we don't get snow here. They're always hot. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and we'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, this guy here. This is the first Raspberry Pi I got. This is a Raspberry Pi 3 Model B, which is the one that has all the big ports on it and stuff. The Model A is like the skinny one. I think I got it, mid 2015 or late 2015 or early 2016, because I know I had this before I built my first computer. Probably was 2015. It only has 1 gig of RAM, and a lot of smartphones today have more than 1 gig of RAM. Yeah, this thing does not have a lot of processing power. So we're not going to be using it today. Maybe some other video, maybe on the Free Range channel, we'll be using this guy. All right, so the Raspberry Pi is fully booted up. We're at the Raspberry Pi OS desktop. And if you have a Raspberry Pi, you probably know that this is not the stock default wallpaper or configuration. I've already done quite a bit of configuration on the system, and that also includes installing some of the software we're going to be talking about. This was not a video I was planning on doing. This is a video that I ended up wanting to do after going down a rabbit hole on a Friday afternoon about 3D printing on a Raspberry Pi. And I'm going to still talk about it because I think it's really stinking cool. Cool for 2 reasons. Because for one, quite a lot of software nowadays that is getting a Linux version. Raspberry Pi OS, for those who don't know, is a Linux distribution based on Debian. And number 2, a lot of software is getting ARM support. And for those who don't know what ARM is a CPU architecture. It's usually used in smartphones and smaller devices. Some laptops have it. Pretty much every modern Apple product has one. I know it's been quite a long intro, but let's get started. And before we get started, I just want to say this. Today's video, we're not going to be using PiApps. For those who know what PiApps is, I also know what PiApps is. And I know it exists, and I have used it. I think it's really cool. And I'm pretty sure it would make this entire process way easier and probably way nicer. But in this video, I want to use what is officially supported by these software developers. But if you want to know what PiApps is, just do a quick Google search or look up some videos on it on YouTube. It's a pretty cool piece of software if you have Raspberry Pi. The first thing we're going to need is some kind of modeling software. And of course, we have our friend FreeCAD. Back late last year, I checked out this software. I'll have a link to the video somewhere. And as you can see, we have quite a few options for FreeCAD downloads. We got a Windows one, we got the Mac one, and we also have our Linux versions here. We have 2 downloads here. We have x86 and Arch64, which is the one you're looking for when you're trying to run it on ARM. And it comes in the form of an app image, which you can look that up yourself. I don't want to sound like a jerk here, but there's a lot of stuff I don't want to explain because this video would be 100 hours long. Probably longer than it's already going to be. And I already have it installed and configured and everything. And we could just boot it up. And as you can see, the FreeCAD splash screen. Look at that 3D printer that we have there. Perfect for this thing. And as you can see, we have the full FreeCAD suite here. Like a parametric part. You know, we had some sketch it up. There you go. Have some fillets on it. We got ourselves a little pin thing here, a little square with a little peg on top. But yeah, FreeCAD runs on the Raspberry Pi. Now, obviously, if you get bigger models, more complicated stuff, it's probably gonna start lagging.
I mean, if we look at our little GPU thing, we're already at 61%. I saw it spike to 61%. If we rotate the part, I'm pretty sure it'll go up. Yep. Ooh, 89, 90, 92%. It's a little aggressive. It's just a little bit aggressive on the GPU part of it. So I basically have all software turned off, like no browsers open, or don't even watch YouTube while you're trying to model. Now that we have our cutesy little model here, we need some way to print it. So we have Bambu Studio. There's a little link here that links to GitHub, which brings you here. There's also a link to FlatHub. I think this is the one of the places you can get Flatpaks from. Flatpak being a Linux install package binary thing. I'm not an authority on open source here. But yeah, it does have one, and you can, in fact, install it. In fact, I have it already installed. We can click on it, and we can boot it up. Black screen, it likes to do that. And it'll download the network plugin, and it will fail to download the network plugin. Yeah, it's not great. And you think that's bad? And you might notice there's a lot of black bars and a black cube here. You know, look at that black cube. Yeah, it's a little broken. It's not doing so hot. But it does work. We can, in fact, do all the settings here. All the settings we can tweak and stuff. We can save it to files. We can't print because there's no network plugin. But we can export it as a file. Now, Creality Print is a little bit different. We go to the Linux version, which it does seem to have. It will send us to GitHub. We can download it, but there is a little bit of a problem here. x86, exe, which would be a Windows thing. The only ARM one is on Mac. So yeah, there doesn't appear to be a natively supported ARM version. I'm pretty sure you could like compile it. They have the source code right here. You could probably compile it to run. But as of right now, there is no official support for Creality Print, it seems. But we could probably use some third-party slicers for it. So let's do some stuff here. Let's actually go print something. I'm gonna model something real quick, and we'll be back when it's done. Trying to get this thing to work. We have our Samsung lav mic here, and I don't know exactly how the audio is going to sound on this, but we're going to be doing a model in FreeCAD. I want to design a circular flange. We already have a flange. Actually made this back during my I went down the rabbit hole, right? And I made this little flange with a square part to him, right? We got this square flange, right? But I want to make one that's round and has like 8 holes around it. We'll start off with a simple center rectangle. I discovered the center rectangle. Oh wait, I'm dumb. We're not gonna do that because we're not here for that. We're here for a circular flange. That's right. Now I'm gonna say this about FreeCAD. Something that I found kind of interesting with FreeCAD. FreeCAD works better on a smaller screen, or at least with the resolution cranked way down. This is a lot easier for me because I'm doing it on a 1080p screen instead of the 4K, which I used when I did the original FreeCAD video. There we go. Pattern. I forgot where pattern is. Oh man, where was pattern? How to pattern in FreeCAD. Part design tool workbench. Is this pattern? Polar pattern. Linear. I think it's gonna be polar. Wait. Is this what I think it is? Could this be? Oh my goodness. There it is. So if you watched the FreeCAD video, you may remember I tried to do this kind of weird thing where I tried to do all the patterning and it was like kind of like doing this weird angle and stuff. This is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for, where I could just change the occurrence of it. Look at that. I want 8 holes though. I want 8 holes. Of course, I'm gonna add some fillets. We're gonna add a fillet here and fillet here. Let's see. Look at that. Now we can save it. I'm gonna save it. Let's also export it. There we go. And then we should be able to go to our Bambu Studio here and just kind of import it onto the SD card we have, which I'm inserting into the little SD card slot reader here. As you can see, we have a removable disk. We're going to hit OK. We're going to import our round flange, which is pretty darn large. I just realized. You know what? Let's get a. Oh my goodness, we can't even read that. We're gonna edit the thing a little bit. Should be a lot smaller. We're actually gonna change this to 5% infill, which in my experience is fine. It's fine. It works. Yeah, we're going to export the plate to the guy here. Let's save that. Eject the mass storage, and we'll come back when it's done. And about 30 minutes later, we have our round flange here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but it will be a keepsake for remembering our time we spent using the Raspberry Pi as a 3D modeling workstation. Now, I'm gonna say this right now, I am a little bit disappointed that I did not record myself on Friday goofing around with this thing, because you would have gotten my initial reaction and surprise that these applications not only had an ARM Linux version, but they ran on this thing. I was just shocked, honestly. I was just very shocked at that. Now, of course, they didn't run perfectly. Well, I guess FreeCAD ran perfectly fine, but Bambu Studio, we had those graphical issues and stuff. But it didn't hinder making something out of it. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, if we used Pi apps, we would have access to a lot of different apps that probably would make this thing work better. I think the Prusa slicer is available on Pi apps, and I think the Prusa slicer also is what the Bambu Studio and Creality Print are based on. It probably would work better and probably not have graphical issues, and we could still use it for my 2 printers. But it's still cool. It's still cool that there's native support directly from the developers of the 2 applications we used today. I can't say I wouldn't recommend using this thing as a 3D modeling workstation. I mean, obviously with more advanced projects with a lot of parts and stuff, it would probably bog this thing down. But I guess for small stuff like this, like, it ran just fine. It ran perfectly fine. I don't know, maybe wait for a Pi 6 or something to come out. Maybe graphics card support's coming to Raspberry Pi OS, right? That would be cool. That would be cool. Let me know if you have any suggestions on CAD software or slicers that work on the Raspberry Pi here. We'll definitely check those out in a different video. I'll definitely be seeing what Pi Apps has on it, because like I said, I know it has the Prusa slicer, but I think it has some other slicers on it as well. Not only that, but if you have any suggestions for other videos, also let me know that too. But that's all I have to say. Thank you all for watching. God bless you all, and we'll see you next time.